What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video here on behalf of Dota Alchemy. Thank you as always for tuning in, and thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is Skillshare.
Skillshare is an amazing and affordable learning platform where anyone can explore and improve at a wide variety of skills and crafts. Joining the Skillshare community gives you access to hundreds of amazing video guides by experts in fields like art, design, business, and so many more. I've personally used the platform to learn a lot more about the business side of YouTube and improve my video editing skills. The first 500 people who click the link in the description below will get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium and access to everything the community has to offer. You'll also support Dota Alchemy directly by doing this. Plus, you might just discover your next passion.
This video is going to be all about how to counter one of the most annoying heroes in the mid lane. It's been in the meta for a long time. It seems to be just like a default pick for a lot of mid players. They don't know what to pick. They're going to pick OD. It's super good against a lot of the tanky heroes that are popular. So we're looking at OD right now, and this is played by IG Emo. So Invictus Gaming's mid player. He's very, very good. He's very good at the hero. But playing against him is CCNC, and CCNC is playing the Leshrac in this game. And I wanted to get right into the Leshrac pick in particular because there's a few things that OD does very, very well. First of all, he dominates lanes, or he just makes lanes very difficult to play by astraling you or astraling your creeps or just generally messing with the lane. But to do that, he has to get pretty close to you. As you can see, this is the cast range of Astral. You can see the circle around this OD. It is not very big. This is level 1, and just kind of extrapolate a little bit wider as you go out per level, but it's really, really short range because this is probably the most annoying part of OD's kit in the laning phase, but it's also something that you can abuse if you're a hero that has fairly long range and good movement speed like Leshrac. So as we get into the lane, you're going to see that CCNC has not skilled yet, and the reason for that is he's probably waiting to see whether he needs to secure a range creep with Lightning Storm. He would prefer to go for Split Earth. It's just the better laning ability because you can pump fake people out of getting last hits. You can set up for the stun on people when they go for last hits, and you can just make their lane a lot harder to play because you can get in a lot of free right clicks if you do stun them. So obviously he misses the first Split Earth there, but you're going to see just how close the OD has to be to use Astral Imprisonment. And that is the key to beating OD in the laning stage, is that you want to abuse that cast range. So we're going to see CCNC abusing the cast range of Astral Imprisonment here. See, he fakes the Split Earth on Emo, knowing that he's going to come up and try to Astral this creep because he wants to secure the range creep. So he's going to fake the Split Earth, he's going to fake the Split Earth a couple of times, and then he's going to go for the deny. Emo does secure that one, but the point is that you want to sort of anticipate OD's use of Astral Imprisonment and then stun him when he comes towards you or towards the creep that he's trying to use it on. Here again, we're going to see how Emo is just charging forward, trying to Astral CCNC so that he can, get some free denies and get some free last hits. But because OD's movement speed is only 314 and Leshrac's is 329, and Leshrac has a longer attack range, CCNC is able to sort of play this range. He's able to stay just out of range of the Astral Imprisonment, and then he's able to just right-click the OD over and over when the OD is coming in and also running away after failing to Astral him. And here again, we're going to see that Emo really just has to charge in. He really, really has to super heavily commit just to get these Astrals off. And while he does land it, and it does make CCNC miss some last hits, you can see it's not really easy. And normally in most matchups, it's pretty easy for OD. He just kind of walks up, uses it, and then he denies, and then he gets some last hits. But CCNC is making his life really difficult by playing this range. Again, Emo is going to charge forward and eat a Split Earth in the face, and CCNC is basically just using his abilities, his range, his movement speed to keep a distance between himself and the OD. So around this time, OD is generally looking to kind of just leave the lane. He wants to push it out, go jungle, accelerate his farm, work towards that Aghanim Scepter, or whatever build he's going for. But basically, OD is not trying to rotate. He's not trying to really lane anymore. He wants to just be able to kind of keep the wave off of his tower and then go get some extra farm. And one of the things that a hero like Leshrac, and you could probably substitute heroes like Lina or Sniper, this is why some of these heroes are good against OD, is because they have this ability to keep the range, but then they also have this ability to just shove the wave much faster than OD can. And you can see that CCNC has shoved the wave into OD's face, and now he's gone and hit 2 camps while the creep wave was still being dealt with by our Devourer. And so we're going to see this pattern continue where Leshrac is able to not only get the farm in the wave, but then go get several other neutral camps in addition to that. And we can see that his last hits have really accelerated up above the OD. And that's just going to become the theme of this lane. CCNC basically makes the OD come back to lane every single time that he would prefer to be jungling, because otherwise the tower is going to fall just to the creeps. And not to mention the fact that Leshrac is one of the best tower takers in the game. So really, if OD leaves the lane, he's going to run into problems. The next thing that we're going to see is that CCNC is able to start rotating out of the lane. Because Leshrac has such low commitment spells, he has very low cooldowns, he has very high uptime on all of his abilities, and he's way more mobile because of his fast movement speed. So the OD stuck in the mid lane dealing with the wave that CCNC had just shoved in. CCNC is able to rotate to another lane, have some impact there, and then still come back to the mid lane without his tower taking very much damage. And I just wanted to highlight this little trick that's kind of exclusive to a hero like Leshrac, which is that CCNC is going to make sure that his Pulse Nova is on every time that OD astrals him. And so as a result, the creep wave still dies, and OD still has to deal with these creeps just running at him or running at his tower. And this is super, super useful because a lot of the time, OD will just kind of astral the most annoying hero in the fight. But in this case, CCNC is still doing a ton of damage. He's still killing everybody because Pulse Nova and Edict continue even if you are put in the astral realm. It's really important to recognize both what your advantages are and also what the weaknesses of the heroes that you're playing against, because every hero in Dota has some weaknesses. And so we can see here that CCNC and the Radiant are charging forward, they're taking a fight mid, and meanwhile Emo is just farming away because, you know, he doesn't have anything. He's still working on a Force Staff. He's not even going for Aghanims because he's been so heavily pressured in this mid lane. They also have a Void who is very cooldown dependent, and he doesn't have any farm either. And so Leshrac doesn't really have that much farm either, but he does have a huge amount of pushing potential and a lot of teamfight damage. And so CCNC and the Radiant team are going to abuse that by just running forward, forcing the Dire team to try and defend their tower and take a fight that they just simply cannot win because they don't have enough damage or heroes to do this. And when you have a hero like OD who relies on a strong laning stage to make enough space for himself to be able to get enough farm to take over the game, if you deny him that strong laning phase, which we saw here by the pick of the Leshrac and the style of play that CCNC employed, you want to just continue to punish that. You know that OD needs space. You know that OD needs to take his time to get to his critical mass. And so we're going to see that CCNC has itemized in a way where he just wants to fight all the time. He has Boots of Travel. He has Kaya. He has a Bracer. He's got a Van Brace. He's got all these tanky items, and he is going to abuse the fact that once OD uses Sanity's Eclipse, he is essentially just a hard right-clicker unless he has a huge net worth advantage. And in this case, he's basically just a Sanity's Eclipse. So instant buyback from the Leshrac, TP's back in, wins the fight, and immediately goes high ground afterwards. So in summary, what we're looking at is abuse the range game against OD. Make sure that you understand how close he has to be to you to use his most potent ability in the laning stage, and then stay out of that range. Use high mobility, fast moving heroes that can move around the map and shove out lanes so that OD has to sit there dealing with the creeps while you go elsewhere and impact the other lanes. Itemize in a way that pushes the pace. You want to make sure that you are shoving the lanes in quickly, making sure that OD has to keep showing himself on the map instead of just peacefully jungling away, and then taking away his space so that he has to take space away from his teammates just to be able to get enough items to have any impact at all. And finally, abuse the fact that until OD has his critical mass of item timings, probably something like a BKB and a mobility item and potentially an Aghanims or a Hex, one of those things, he's kind of just an ultimate. And so if he does use Sanities and it looks like you can win the fight now that he doesn't have that big hammer to drop on you, buy back, rejoin the fight, and take the fight to him. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope it helps you win some mid lane matchups and win some extra MMR as a result. Thank you again for watching, and thanks as well to Skillshare for sponsoring this video.